Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 18 of Rustic Waters. Today we are going to start by making quantum compressors, 16 of them if I can count right. But we run out of EXP. And hopefully finish our singularity system. So with these quantum compressors, I also have one induction smelter on me and I want some augments. We are ready to head back and hopefully finish the system up. Cool. So last episode, we set up our void ore miner, which gets all these ores, and then we started processing the ores into ingots. Now we can start compressing those ingots into the actual singularities. Oh, we also have to make catalysts too, don't we? All right, how bad is this? So I need to make cosmic grits. All right. Well, let's set up the the conduits and stuff, and then we'll come back and put the catalyst in. Before we start doing the compressors, though, let's set up the last induction smelter that we need. So this is to make Invar, because Invar doesn't have an ore form. Obviously, it's a alloyed thing. So my plan for this is, let's see, we'll have both input and output be here. Can do that. And then which one of these is iron? So iron is this one and nickel is that one. All right, so those have to be linked, and then everything else doesn't. One problem with induction smelters is that they are not smart machines. If you just let the items go into both slots, it'll sometimes do that. So we're going to need a limited item filter, 1 stack of iron, 1 stack of nickel. Pull that out, and this should fill with nickel. Cool. All right, so now we make all the metals. Let's set you to round robin, as well as this one. Yeah, round robin. All right, next thing we have to do then is extract from each of these machines into its quantum compressor. So let's set 1 compressor per machine. On this side, configuration is pretty easy. All we have to do is disconnect the item conduits from each other. If I have my Yeta wrench somewhere. So if we disconnect them, obviously it's very easy to keep it like the relationship between redstone furnaces to quantum compressors 1-to-1. Unfortunately, normally when I do something like this, I use a conduit probe, right, to copy paste settings between from there to here to everywhere. But there's no recipe for the conduit probe, and it doesn't appear like you can buy it from the vendor. So, no conduit probe for me. Just means I have to manually configure each of these by hand, which isn't a huge deal because these are very simple. Like it's, instead of 1 click with the conduit probe, I'm doing 2 or 3. Now, this side is a bit more complicated because of my poor planning. I, for some stupid reason, put iron and nickel not adjacent to each other. So I had to run this item conduit from, here across to there, which means that those have to stay connected. So, like for this one, nickel, I'm extracting on the red channel. So I have to insert on the red channel, but iron's also on the red channel. So if I don't put a filter here, this will eventually probably, oopsies, have iron put into it. Likewise, the iron one, which is this one, I have to do the same thing. Oh, wait, which one's iron? Second one on the bottom. All right, so insert on red, filtered for only iron. And make sure nickel didn't jam its way in there already. Cool. And then it's just every other one along this conduit needs to be on a different color, which isn't like the worst. Right, so that one was brown, this one is blue, so on and so forth. And this is what it looks like when it's all configured. This last one is a little different because it's both input and output the same side. So we're inputting on red, outputting on black, and black is sending Invar to this compressor. All right, lastly, I just need to, let's see, these last three can be independent of the rest, so I can disconnect them there, here, there, and there. Cool, and then these are going to have to be connected to each other, and these can all be on the same. All right, here we have it. So each of these quantum compressors should be getting filled with one type of item to compress. Obviously, they're not actually running yet because we don't have the catalysts. Just double checking real quick to make sure they actually have items in them. All right. Does every single one of these use the same catalyst? Are they all ultimate? Yep, looks like it. All right. So I think black iron is very easy to make, right? Yeah, it's just iron and poop. And these are emeralds, black iron, and cosmic grits. All right, so the next thing we have to do then, in fact, I can even think I can unpin all of these, is make cosmic grits. So a couple episodes ago, I came up with this list of ingredients that we needed for it, but I never actually like planted them. So I guess now is the time to go plant them. And now for my favorite part of the game, shopping for seeds. So yeah, I have to buy seeds for, I mean, I don't have to buy beef seeds, obviously, but most of these come from seeds, and I have to buy their appropriate seed. Ugh. You know, as much as I like to hate on this UI, it beats the alternative, and that's trying to breed all these seeds, because that would really suck. Alright, so let's head up to the farm, and then I just have to plant one of each of these seeds. I might actually have to add a few drawers too, right? Yeah, because I don't have nearly enough drawer space. Alright, let's do the drawers first then. Alright, this should be more than enough total drawer slots to go around, so all we have to do now is plant one of each seed. And again, they're planted at 111, but they'll... Alright, the vanilla plants have to be planted on normal soil, don't they? Actually, I first need to convert it into a regular seed. Hold on. I need a hoe for that. Alright, so for the vanilla crops, they have to be planted on vanilla soil or vanilla farmland. So that, and plant it. And that'll produce carrots. We can add that to this and repeat this process for all, I don't know how many types of seeds I have. 12-ish. All the seeds are planted. They're all along the outside of the farm because those are the ones that are like most easily accessed. I think they're also the slowest growing plots. So they have the least impact on our money generation. But I mean, all said, there's what, like 7 by 7 by 4, so about 200 plots total. And I've taken over less than 10% of them for other things. So our money farm is still running at 90+% efficiency, and as a side effect, we get moderate numbers of all of these other plants, and moderate is probably enough. Just for good measure, I think I'm going to slap an emerald upgrade on each of these. Except for the fact that I don't have one. Alright, let's go buy a handful. Alright, now I have some upgrades. I think 8 of them is enough. And just in the time it took for me to like plant all the seeds and whatever, we can see that we already have 2 stacks of the most recently planted one, and I guess carrots were first. We have like 4 stacks of those. So I'll give this thing another like 10 minutes to grow just to make sure we have enough of everything. And then I'll start the perhaps somewhat tedious... Oh, I have to do beef too, don't I? I'll lasso a cow, I guess, and add that to our mob farm. But this should give us enough time then for enough plants to grow. Man, cows cost a lot of emeralds. 9 emeralds for 1 cow? Whatever. So we can spawn it, lasso it. May as well enchant our lasso with unbreaking. And throw it in the mob farm. I switched it, instead of outputting to a chest, like we did for chicken, the chicken chest filled up very quickly. I'm just outputting it into a drawer now. And I wonder, can I acceleration wand this? Looks like the answer is yes. Cool. This is much easier then. So before we start crafting, let's count about how many cosmic grits we need. We need, for each catalyst, we need 4. So we need, let's see, we need 16 catalysts. So 1 stack of cosmic grits to make ultimate catalysts. Then we need 1 creative core, which is 2 blocks, which is 50. So we basically need about 2 stacks of cosmic grits. And just to be sure, let's make sure the crafting core and the pedestal don't take any more. Okay, so yeah, so we need just about 2 stacks of these. We'll keep that in mind. That means we need about 8 stacks of miner's stew. All right, this is very easy to make. In fact, the only reason I haven't been eating this the whole time is that it doesn't give any nutrition. And I kind of want, these nutrition buffs. So let's just grab them now. Strangely enough, it turns out the one thing I don't have enough of is flint. Which is, I don't know, somewhat unexpected, I guess. But I'll just go... Oh, it's only 1 layer thick of gravel? Alright, well, I'll just, I'll just dig some, here, I guess if I set it to 5x5, it'd be best that dig some gravel up for flint. And because I have Fortune 3 on my flux board here, 100% drop rate. Can I put my satchel? I want to get my magnet. I might have DC'd. Oh no, there it goes. Magnet. Cool. Anyways, real quick flint collection. There we go. That should satisfy our flint needs. And now I just have to go about crafting these. What am I missing? Alright, and then I need 8 stacks of this total. The rest of the materials are in here. That's miner's stew taken care of. I'll store, intermediate ingredients in here for now. Alright, next up, let's go again. Easiest to hardest, grits. So we need fresh milk, water, salt, and 2 stacks of this. Our water machine has plenty of fresh water. And instead of fresh milk, can I use almond milk? Or I can just make fresh milk out of almonds. Okay. Mash the corn into cornmeal. And I think we're ready to cook it all into grits. There are. What's missing? Milk. Where's my milk? There we go. 2 stacks of grits. Alright, next up. I'm not sure which one's easier. Let's just do the Korean dinner then. Well, this has some sub-crafting. Yikes. And we need 4 stacks of each. Korean dinner and corned beef. Alright. I really wish these tooltips had text on them. It'd be a lot easier to which of these is cabbage? This one, I think? Yep. 4 stacks of cabbage. Anyways, I'm gonna go one by one, so I'll start by making kimchi. So salt, cabbage, garlic, ginger. Alright, which one's garlic? No, you're onions. Garlic, you're garlic. Ginger? I had always called scallions leeks. Is there a difference between a leek and a scallion? Let me know. So, I don't quite have enough. I'm 1 stack short of garlic, darn it. I don't have anything here. Hold on, I gotta grab more. But, what was I saying? We're gonna have to do a lot of manual cooking here. This is gonna be the cooking show. Another stack of garlic. Did I get it? There we go. But these are the components for kimchi. So, whoopsies. No, it isn't. I need sesame seeds. Are they in here? Are they in here? Gosh darn it. At least I didn't forget to plant them. I just didn't grab them. This teleportation book, by the way, a lifesaver. Alright, so wait a second. These are the wrong seeds. These are mustard seeds. I've been bamboozled. I definitely did not plant sesame seeds then. Alright, gotta plant those real quick. probably a good thing that I'm not actually a chef. Otherwise, I would have just put mustard seeds instead of sesame seeds into someone's kimchi, and they would be very disappointed. But since I need some of these right now, I'm just gonna give it a head start with some bone meal. And wait, did I sesame seeds? They're being auto picked up. That must mean they're going into here somewhere. Oh, here they are. I did plant them. Okay. So I did plant them. I just didn't grab the right seeds when I went to cook. Well, another reason why I shouldn't cook. In any event, now we should be able to make kimchi using this recipe, I guess. Yeah. Because the pot doesn't stack, the shift click never puts in like all the items. Makes me sad. Because then I have to manually do it. And the second stack. Although I guess I can just spam everything and get it all. No, that's not how that works apparently. Cool. Kimchi. Oh, ran into another problem. For rice, which is omelet over rice, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Asian cuisine, we need eggs. For some reason, I thought that our chicken farm produced eggs when we were running it, but it only made chicken and feathers. So we don't actually have eggs. I guess I'll have to make do with tofu eggs, because I think all these exotic animal eggs aren't going to be any easier to get. So we're going to need firm tofu, yellow dye. Is yellow dye going to be easier to get, or is it easier just to set up a chicken farm? Alright, upon further examination, it seems like tofu egg is not possible to make because firm tofu has to be made in a centrifugal separator. I thought there was like a PAMS machine that could do it too, like a squeezer or something, but that recipe appears to be disabled, and the centrifugal separator has no recipe. So I'm gonna double check something. There's I recall there were machines that spawned in the villages, right? Oopsies. I'm gonna snag one of them and see if we can make tofu out of it. Well, the only two machines here are the grinder and the water filter. Neither of them sound like something I would expect to use to make tofu out of, but we'll try them nonetheless. Is that how you spell soy? Alright, farm, I need some soybeans. I remember in like an older version of PAMS, you could do something like this with oh wait, it's doing something. So that turns soybeans into flour. Well, that's not what I want. What do you turn soybeans into? I can't put soybeans in there. All right. I'm gonna look through this real quick to see if there's other machines. Although generally speaking, if it doesn't show up in JAI, you probably can't do it. I should probably just set up that chicken farm. Fortunately, there's nothing subtle about a chicken farm. You just get a bunch of chickens, throw them into a coop, and let them lay eggs. So, I guess we gotta do what we gotta do. Alrighty, chickens, live your best life. I'll spawn them until they start taking crowding damage. Unfortunately, chickens are not terribly fast egg layers, so we're gonna have to wait a while. Looks like we can put all 21 in here. Cool. Yeah, I think they lay like, they don't start laying eggs until 5 minutes in, and it'll take them a while even after that. But I do need, unfortunately, 4 stacks of eggs to make the rice. So let's move on to the next thing while we wait, I guess. While we wait for the chickens to lay their eggs, let's move on to other things. So next up we have bulgogi. There's let's see, beef and some various spices. I think this should be all of it. So, and I'll craft 2 stacks at a time just because I don't have inventory room to do more. And I need a skillet. You know, I was originally thinking that it would be unnecessary to make like the Cooking for Blockheads kitchen. Just because I was like, you know, it's how do I describe it? We're only going to be cooking for like an episode, but I'm starting to think maybe it would have been worth it to make the kitchen after all. But at this point, I think I might be too committed to turn back, you know? All right, so that's bulgogi. I'll make the other 2 stacks real quick. That's probably as far as we can go on Korean dinners, because all that we have to do afterwards is put it together with lettuce. I guess I can make the cutting board. Well, there's a lot of different cutting boards. I have to use the Pam's one. I guess these are for the artisan's tables to compress beef with. Sure. Anyways, with that's basically Korean dinners taken care of. We're just waiting on eggs. Corned beef sandwiches, unfortunately, also take eggs, but we'll do what we can. So I guess let's start with corned beef hash. Beef, onion, bell pepper, potato, more eggs. Gosh darn it. All right, looks like I have to wait for eggs. And this is... originally I was planning on using silken tofu for this, right? But that's not happening anymore. Can I make heavy cream? Yeah, I can. I'm mixing bowl and milk. All right. Well, no matter how we slice it, we're waiting for eggs, and we have 37. So, 38. I'm just gonna let these chickens chill here for a couple hours. Then, in the meantime, I'll go, do some other stuff while we wait. And when I come back, we can finish making our food. Hopefully, we'll have enough eggs for that. We're gonna need quite a few eggs. We're probably gonna need like 20 stacks of them. Here, let's make this a double chest just to be sure we have enough room. Voila. And would you look at that? By the magic of video editing, we now have a full double chest of eggs. Cool. So now we can continue on. I guess we'll go back to making our rice here. I've already forgotten how many stacks of it we need, of course. It is for the Korean dinners. Shoot. I think it was 4 stacks, right? And it goes together with these ingredients. Let's just grab these and give it a shot. Yep, that looks good to me. All right, so man, I really should have just built that Cooking with Blockheads kitchen. That would have been a great thing to do in the last however many hours I was waiting, but I didn't do it. All right. Anyways, now that we have enough eggs, I think that should be all the missing ingredients. All right. So 4 stacks of rice goes with kimchi and bulgogi, and I need to go grab some lettuce off the farm, and we can make our Korean dinners. Farm loads in very slowly, and lettuce. Putting that all together one last time. Nice. If I did this earlier, I would eat these, but now I'm just using them for crafting. Next up, we have corned beef. Sounds delicious right about now. To make heavy cream, take almonds, cram them through a juicer. It somehow turns into milk. I guess an abstraction for almond milk. And then you take the almond milk and you hold on, put it in a mixing bowl. Of course. Voila. I also question why the way you get salt is by boiling. Well, I assume you're boiling fresh water because it's in a pot. But if it's fresh water, there isn't salt in it. It should be salt water. Suspicious. All that put together makes corned beef hash, which also sounds delicious. A couple more intermediate steps that I skipped. Oh, apparently I skipped one too many. I forgot to turn my tomatoes into ketchup. Whoops. I was about to say, skipped a couple steps off camera, and we're now ready to make our corned beef, but apparently not. Alright, this should only take a second. Hang in there with me. I have like a full kitchen of tools now. There we go. Corned beef breakfasts. And 4 stacks of them total. So these are all the kitchen tools it took to make it, and I think all that's left is to craft the whatever these are called, cosmic grits. Nice. A 1 stack and 2 stacks. From here we'll want to turn, I think it was, we need 2 blocks, right? All right, and this is done in the future tech, so let's do those first. 1 and 2. Oh, these are a lot of EXP. And the rest I need to turn into a bunch of ultimate catalysts because I need, it was 16 ultimate catalysts, I think. May have made a bit more black iron ingot than I needed, but oh well, this is just, you mix iron with poop, so no real value loss. Anyways, ultimate catalysts, we head down to our quarry, and we'll want to put 1 each into these compressors. And then they start compressing their ingots into singularities. Nice. Oh, looks like we're out of energy in our dimensional transceiver. I think what's happening is, now with everything running, these also take a fair bit of energy, although they haven't made anything yet, so maybe not yet. But what's happening is when it's nighttime, let's head up to our farm. It's nighttime, I presume, yeah. Because I only have it hooked up to a reasonably small capacitor bank, this capacitor bank gets fully drained and then our dimensional transceiver runs out of power. So I think what I'll do is I'll just make this a massive capacitor bank, and that should solve our problem. All the money I have now, I have nothing else to do with it, right? So let's go and buy as many vibrant capacitors as we can with, how much money have we printed since last episode, or the start of the episode, I guess? A lot. I'm going to turn all those into capacitor banks. In addition, may as well use any leftover money we had, and we'll be flat broke after this, but we'll also have no need for money. Costing a whopping $10,000 each, we bought 35 of them total. So now you see, now it's daytime again, this number is going up, but if I expand the capacitor bank, not only will it go up faster, remember our solar panel here generates, like it's still early in the day, so it's ramping up, but it generates energy far faster than our capacitor bank here can actually input it. So as we make the bank bigger, the IO limit goes up, which naturally increases the rate that we can insert energy into it. Come on, keep building. So this bank, now that it's, I don't know why I'm building it straight down as opposed to like in a box, but I've started doing it this way. I'm going to keep doing it this way. This energy bank will hopefully be able to survive the night, just by virtue of being massive. This is easily the longest capacitor bank I've ever built. And it sure charges in a jiffy too, at 1.7 million RF a tick. And it's full, and it's, our solar panel just turned on like a couple hours ago. It's only, actually, I have no clue what that time means. 1 o'clock, is that 1 p.m.? But 1 p.m. would be, I don't know, 1 p.m. would be 13 o'clock, right? Whatever. Point is, plenty of power, and we shouldn't run out of power anymore at our ore processing. For most of these machines, where, for the ones doing ore ingots, we're limited by how fast the furnace is. For some, like the glowstone or the lapis, it's limited by the extraction rate. I could put extraction speed upgrades in there, but like the lapis is never going to be our last singularity anyways. In fact, as things are set up now, it's looking like either iron or where is ferrous? Nickel. It looks like iron will be our last one. And that's largely just because half of the iron is being sent here into the Invar machine to make Invar. So I guess I could set up a second furnace to do iron. Where did I put iron? I put it in a spot where it's the absolute hardest to set up a second furnace, didn't I? You go, Jimmy. By my estimate, it's going to take something like 5 or 6 hours at the rate that things are currently progressing to complete the, I think it was 7 singularities we need, and I'm willing to wait that time. This episode's basically out of time anyways, so we'll just wrap up everything next episode. But one last thing I want to make before we call it now is the crafting core. Let's see. the crafting core is used to make, I guess, only the creative core, and it takes, I need 8 total pedestals. Alright, so let's just set this up really quick. Might as well put it in this room, the only room in our base that really has space. Voila. The center block needs power, I think, so I can wirelessly send it power. And with that, all we have left to do is wait for those singularities to craft. So I hope you enjoyed today's cooking episode, and I hope you come back tomorrow for what in all likelihood will be putting everything together and finishing up the pack. What? I guess it just doesn't have a UI when you click it. All right, cool. Anyways, it is slowly getting power. So, yeah, take care and bye-bye.